Hey there, Jim Rohn here. Let me guess. Your phone just lit up with that message. The one from the ex who vanished when things got real. The one who left you confused, questioning, maybe even blaming yourself. And now, out of nowhere, they're back in your inbox, like nothing ever happened, saying something vague like, "Hey, how have you been?" And you feel that rush. Your stomach flips. Your heart races. Part of you wants to respond right away. Another part is frozen, wondering what it means. Do they miss me? Have they changed? Is this the closure I've been waiting for? If that's where you are right now, this video is exactly for you. Because that message, it's not just a text, it's a moment, a psychological trigger, and how you respond can either pull you back into a cycle you've worked so hard to heal from, or set you free. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the empowered way to respond when an emotionally distant or avoidant ex suddenly reaches out. We'll talk about why they do this, what it often really means, and how to protect your peace without losing your power. You'll learn how to pause, reconnect with your truth, and choose a response that honors your growth, not your past wounds. This isn't about playing games. It's about stepping into emotional maturity and finally breaking the pattern that's kept you stuck. So if you're tired of the hot and cold, tired of waiting for change that never comes, and ready to take your power back, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. I'm here every week with tools to help you navigate love boundaries and self-worth with clarity and strength. Let's get into it. Let's talk about what really happens when an emotionally distant or avoidant ex suddenly reaches out. Maybe it's been weeks, months, or even longer. Things ended with distant silence, or maybe a slow fade that left you with more questions than answers. And now, without warning, there it is, the text. It's often short, casual, even charming. Something like, "Hey, just thinking about you. Hope you're good." And just like that, your nervous system lights up. Your mind races with questions. Do they miss me? Is this a second chance? Should I respond? That moment, it's not just a message. It's a psychological trigger. And what it brings up isn't just about them, it's about you. Your healing, your boundaries, your growth. This isn't a test of your love for them, it's a test of how far you've come in learning to honor yourself. Here's what you need to know. Avoidant or emotionally distant exes often resurface for reasons that have nothing to do with real change. Their return may not be about reconnection. It may be about relief from their own loneliness, relief from the discomfort of seeing you move on. Sometimes it's just curiosity. Other times it's about control. Often it's part of a repeating cycle. They get close, pull away, then check back in just enough to stir your emotions, but never stay long enough to build anything safe. And I want to be clear, this isn't always malicious, but it is often unconscious. Avoidant individuals struggle with emotional regulation. They miss connection, but fear vulnerability. So when they sense that you're moving forward or reclaiming your peace, it activates their fear of being forgotten. That's when they pop back in. It's rarely about them doing the inner work, reflecting on their part, and coming back with real emotional accountability. So, When you receive that text pause, don't let nostalgia or longing make decisions for you. Ask yourself, has anything really changed? Are they reaching out because they're ready to grow, or because they're uncomfortable with the silence they created? If the answer isn't clear, and especially if this isn't the first time, it's probably not a genuine return. It's likely a familiar loop. You don't owe anyone instant access to you, especially someone who didn't know how to hold space for your heart the first time. You've done too much work to confuse attention with effort, or a message with meaning. In the next section, we'll break down how to respond in a way that protects your peace and puts your healing first. Hang in there. You're not alone in this. When an emotionally distant ex suddenly reaches out, especially with something vague like, "Hey, how have you been?" It's easy to get caught up in the wave of emotions that hits you. That message might feel harmless on the surface, but inside it can open the floodgates. You might feel hopeful, even excited. You might think, maybe they finally realized what we had. Or you might feel confused, anxious, or like all the progress you've made is slipping through your fingers in a single moment. That reaction is completely human. But here's where your power lies, in how you choose to respond or not respond at all. This is where it gets tricky, because that message can feel like a second chance. But more often than not, it's not a sign of deep change. It's not the start of a new, more emotionally mature chapter. It's just a ping away for them to see if you're still emotionally available to them, even if they haven't earned that access. So before you respond, there are a few key things you absolutely should not do if you want to protect your peace and stay rooted in your healing. First, don't respond immediately from an emotionally charged place. That text can trigger a mix of feelings: hope, pain, anger, even longing. But the worst thing you can do is react in the heat of those emotions. Because in that moment, you're not responding from your healed self, you're responding from your wounded self. And that version of you might be tempted to go back to seek closure, or to test the waters again just to feel close to them. Instead, give yourself a pause. Let the emotions settle. Talk to a friend. Journal. Do anything that creates distance between the impulse to respond and the intention to respond with clarity. Second, don't mistake a single text for a sign of lasting change. One message is not a commitment. It's not emotional maturity, and it's certainly not accountability. If you've had a history with this person where they disappeared, shut down emotionally, or avoided hard conversations, then you already know their pattern, and patterns don't break just because someone hit send on a casual check-in. True change looks like sustained effort, clear communication, and consistent behavior over time, not just reappearing when it's convenient for them. Third, don't let nostalgia or unhealed wounds rewrite the story. When we miss someone, we tend to remember the highlights, the inside jokes, the late-night talks, the warm moments that felt like love. But nostalgia is selective. It rarely shows us the full picture. It skips the parts where you were left hanging, where your needs went unmet, or where you cried alone, wondering why love felt so confusing. And if you haven't fully healed those wounds, they'll rush in the second you see their name on your screen. Suddenly, you're not just responding to a message, you're reliving a version of the past that your heart still aches to rewrite. But you can't build something new on the foundation of what broke you. Responding from that place often means re-entering a dynamic that already showed you what it was capable of and what it wasn't. So this moment, this text, isn't a romantic opportunity. It's a mirror, a chance to ask yourself, what am I choosing right now? Am I honoring my healing, or am I slipping back into an old pattern because it feels familiar? Here's the truth. Just because they reached out doesn't mean they've changed. And just because you still care doesn't mean you owe them your time, your energy, or your emotional availability. You've likely done a lot of work to rebuild your self-worth, set boundaries, and stop chasing love that made you feel uncertain. Don't throw that away for a few words that carry no action behind them. Instead, let the message be a checkpoint. Let it show you how far you've come. Remember how much energy it took to get back on your feet. And if you do decide to respond, do it from a place of clarity, not craving. From self-respect, not emotional reactivity. In the next section, we'll talk about exactly how to do that. How to craft a calm, grounded, empowered response, or no response at all that puts you in the driver's seat. Because this time, it's not about what they want from you. It's about what you want for yourself. And that shift changes everything. When an emotionally distant ex reaches out with a message that seems harmless, like, "Hey, how have you been? You have a choice." Not just about whether or not to respond, but about how you show up for yourself in that moment. Because this isn't just about them. This is about your boundaries, your progress, and your healing. And what you do next says a lot. Not about how much you cared in the past, but about how much you value yourself now. So instead of rushing to reply, let's talk about what to do instead. First, pause. This might sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do. Just pause. Don't reply right away. Don't get swept up in the emotional wave. Give yourself space. Space to breathe, space to think, space to feel what's really happening. Because that pause is where the shift happens. It creates room between your impulse and your intention. It gives you time to get grounded again, so you're not reacting from a wound, but responding from wisdom. Next, ask yourself some hard but honest questions. What do I actually want from this exchange? Am I hoping for real change, or am I craving connection because I miss them? Am I hoping they'll finally give me the closure I never got? Am I doing this because I truly want to reconnect, or because part of me still needs their validation? These questions help you strip away the fantasy and get clear on your motivation. There's no shame in wanting to feel close to someone who once mattered. But there is risk in letting that desire override the truth of the past. Then tune into your body. Before your mind makes sense of things, your body already knows how it feels. Do you feel tension in your chest or stomach? Do you feel unsettled or shaky? That's your nervous system remembering what this dynamic did to you last time. Your body is a powerful messenger. Pay attention to it. If something feels off, it probably is. If your whole system is reacting, it's worth asking why. Trust those cues. They often tell the truth before your mind catches up. Recognize the pattern. If this isn't the first time they've come and gone, don't expect this time to be the exception. Patterns don't lie. And the avoidant X often operates in emotional cycles. They pull away when things get close and reach out again when they sense you've detached. It's not always malicious, but it is confusing. And if you're honest with yourself, you've likely seen this pattern before. So ask, do I want to re-enter the same cycle, or do I want something different this time? You can't control what they do, but you can absolutely decide how you'll engage. Finally, set boundaries. You are not required to make yourself emotionally available just because someone from your past decides they're ready to reach out. That's not how healing works. If they caused emotional confusion, if they disappeared during hard conversations, or if they left you feeling small, uncertain, or unworthy, then they don't automatically get a second chance. Boundaries aren't punishments. They're clarity. And setting them isn't about being cold or distant. It's about protecting your peace, especially when someone has shown they don't always know how to hold it with care. That might mean not responding at all. That might mean saying, "Hey, I've moved on, and I'm not interested in reopening this chapter." Or it might mean replying with calm but firm boundaries if you genuinely feel open to dialogue. But whatever you choose, let it come from a place of self-respect, not unresolved emotion. Let me give you a real example. I worked with someone named Alicia. Her avoidant ex would reappear every few months with the same, "Hey, just thinking about you" text. Early on, she'd get excited. She thought maybe this time would be different, but it never was. He'd be warm for a few days, then distant again. When she started therapy and began rebuilding her confidence the next time he texted, she didn't react right away. She paused. She checked in with herself. And she realized, I'm not looking for another emotional loop. I'm looking for peace. So she replied with one sentence, "I've done a lot of healing and I'm no longer available for this kind of inconsistent connection." That was it. Simple, grounded, clear. You can do the same. Whether you reply, stay silent, or set a firm boundary, make sure it honors you. Because this moment isn't about proving anything to your ex. It's about proving to yourself that the love you're waiting for isn't just about being wanted, it's about being respected. In the next part, we'll walk through a few empowered response examples you can use or adapt if you choose to reply. Stay with me. This is where real emotional freedom starts. Let's be clear about something. Just because someone from your past finds the courage to hit send doesn't mean you're obligated to open the door again. You're not here to be someone's emotional safety net backup plan or soft place to land only when it's convenient for them. You've done too much work, felt too much pain, and learned too many lessons to confuse a text with transformation. We've talked about the emotional roller coaster that can come with an avoidant ex suddenly reappearing. We explored why they often reach out, not because of deep change, but because of discomfort, curiosity, or fear of losing their grip on your attention. We discussed what not to do. Don't respond out of emotion. Don't mistake a casual message for growth. And don't let nostalgia override your healing. And we broke down what to do. Pause. Get honest with yourself. Listen to your body. Recognize the pattern, and most importantly, set boundaries that serve your peace. This is your moment to reclaim your power, to stop asking, "What do they want from me?" and start asking, "What do I want for myself?" And maybe what you want most now isn't a reunion, but a sense of clarity that lets you finally move forward without looking back. If they reach out again, you don't have to respond just because you still feel something. You can feel the emotions, acknowledge the history, and still protect your future by saying no or by saying nothing at all. That silence, that boundary, that self-respect in action. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If this helped you feel seen, validated, or just a little more grounded in your next steps, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. I post weekly videos to help you navigate love detachment boundaries and real emotional healing without losing yourself in the process. And drop a comment below. Have you ever had an avoidant ex reach out? How did you respond? And what did you learn from it? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Until next time, choose peace, choose self-respect, and remember, you don't owe anyone access to you just because they finally noticed your absence.